Another rant, finally. Didn't post many rants lately, and I didn't post a lot last week anyways, because I was very busy. This was your favorite, this is your favorite after, and it's not week, almost was, because I had to come to the police. The police told me to come over because somebody filed a complaint about my video, or actually is trying to sue me over freedom of speech. Before I go any further, please smash that like right now, subscribe, and also comment your thoughts below. Thank you. And that is what we today are going to talk about. So, what happened? I made a video a while ago, and in that video I was talking about two party members of the party of GroenLinks in the Netherlands, and they sued me because the video was about how they did their effort to stop the Chinese New Year in the Hague City Hall, where it's traditionally is being held, and they forbid us to do certain dances, specifically one traditional Uyghur dance. I believe that they did that. I'm not sure if the last, but anyway, they're not going to perform doing that dance anymore because, yeah, they didn't like it, and they made a whole fuss about it, right? So they saw my video. In my video, I was explaining about the ETIM, which is a terrorist organization in China, specifically targeting Chinese people. But make no mistake, they also take lives of Uyghurs. Really, really big instance is an imam of one of the biggest mosques, or if not the biggest mosque in China, or at least in Xinjiang. I'm not sure if it also in entire China. Hold on, needed to put my phone on mute. I'm being sued. I'm possibly being sued because it still has to go to the district attorney, and they didn't like it because one of those people in that party, and mind you, it's a political party and I do political content, right? So we can say it is political persecution. That's my belief, right? The police said they did personally sue me, not through the party. I said to the officer, well, let me ask you one thing. Are they in the political party, yes or no? And then he says yes. I said, well, do I make political content, yes or no? He said yes. I said, well, 1 + 1 is 2. That's political persecution, because I only talk about political matters. It doesn't matter whether you are personally suing me over what I'm criticizing or talking about politics that are happening here in the Netherlands. It is still persecuting me for my rights to freedom of speech, and this speech specifically is going about politics. So how can you not say that it is not political persecution? But that's in my view. Anyway, let's continue. So I made a point that somebody must look into this one person, because this one person is waving the flag of a terrorist organization. That is a blue flag, light blue flag with a white moon and star on it. Probably, if I don't forget, I will put it somewhere. I will put a link to where you can find that info about the specific organization, so you all can check it yourself. So this officer asked me, what do you think of this flag? And he showed that flag. So, well, that's the flag of the ETIM. And at first he says, no, this is the flag of the Uyghurs. I said, the Uyghurs don't have a flag. If he's talking about Uyghurs from China, they don't have a separate flag. They have the Chinese flag. Xinjiang is in China, therefore it has a Chinese flag. And I had my friend had to check it just a couple of days ago. Well, not a couple of days ago, yesterday. And it seems that provinces are not allowed to have a separate flag. So I wanted to be a little bit sure. So there's no such thing as a Uyghur flag, right? And then he wanted to make the case. Then he showed me the other flag, right? And he shows me, and that flag almost looks similar, like that one, but on top of it there's some Arabic. I don't know what it says. I can't read Arabic, right? But that is the flag of the TIP, and the TIP is a sister of the ETIM. And they're currently fighting in Syria, I believe, alongside the other ones, Al Qaeda and ISIS, or only Al Qaeda. I don't know who they're with. Al Qaeda, I believe. Yeah, that's in Syria, right? So it is also kind of weird to me that in the Netherlands, I believe the Al Qaeda flag is forbidden, but not the flag of an organization that is just like this with them and literally are fighting alongside with them. That's not the case. That's not the point, I mean. So this, I felt a little bit like betrayed, right? You're an officer and you should have done your homework, right? Now, I'm not saying that he put it in the dossier, but how did it come to the dossier otherwise, right? Did they bring it? If they brought it in and you are watching detective or rechercheur, in Dutch we call it rechercheur, I'm not sure how you say it in English, then you should sue them. Because I'm going to link also the flag that you showed me in the description of my YouTube. So if you're watching this on TikTok, then go to my YouTube, you can find all the links there. For trying to fool me, and not only fool me, because this dossier will go to the district attorney, so you will also be fooling the district attorney, and I think that is a huge sin. So you either take it out or not, leave it in and write it in that you made a mistake by putting this in for whatever reason that you did, but you must clarify that, right? So they tried to trap me with that, and I told him, no, it's not. This is the flag of the TIP. This is not the flag of the ETIM, not that I believe that it is from the ETIM. And then he said, yes, it is, because when I searched for it, this is what came up. Ah, yes, now I remember, that's what he said. So it was him who put it in. I think, but maybe it was already in there and then he looked for it. Maybe it's like something like that. But, so, I told him, you know what? If you can find it like that, I want you to search for it right now where I am. Search for it right now where I am. And then he actually did not do. All of a sudden he needed to type something else, and yeah. And so he didn't do that, but then he said, yes, I saw it in your video. Yes, on that website. I have also seen that the picture that they are saying is a flag of the Uyghurs. Yes, there. I've seen the picture with people with a lot of guns holding that exactly same flag. I said, so we can determine now that it is the flag of the ETIM. Yes. He did not put that in the report though, oddly enough. So I am really inclined that this is definitely political persecution, because the police is being dishonest. A lot of other things they put in it. Why don't you put this very crucial thing in it, right? I will call them on Monday for that. So What was the problem? They say they're not happy that I make this association, right? Or actually, they're not happy that I call them terrorists, but I have not. I have not. I mean, it's possible that they are, because you're waving the flag and you're actively fighting against Chinese people by not by kicking us out of the city hall, right? And I even think that the government should start to look into it, because it feels like it is abuse of power. We as Chinese people in the Netherlands are Chinese diaspora, just like me. We have nothing to do with what people think might or might not happen in China, and we have no say in it. So why should we be punished for anything like that? That's unheard of. Now, the second thing is, if you are waving that flag, and this officer says, well, do you know that the flag of ISIS also used to be from somewhere else and they hijacked it, right? I said, I didn't know that. Thank you for the information. He said, could it possibly be that the same thing happened with this flag? I said, could be. But nonetheless, it doesn't change the fact that the flag of ISIS stays the flag of ISIS, which is a terrorist organization, and the flag of the ETIM stays the flag of an ETIM, which is a terrorist organization, right? So it does not change that fact. Whether ETIM has hijacked it or these people from government has hijacked it does not change that fact. Then, let me see, I asked him, so they are having all these activist groups, right? These so-called Uyghur activist groups. I asked him, so I want to ask you a question. He says, sure. I said, what is the goal of these organizations? By the way, we're almost getting in Chinatown. What is the goal of these organizations? I will show the view. And of the so-called activist organization, the so-called Uyghur activist organization, right? So what is their goal? And he said, well, their goal is to have a separate state. Well, I think that sounds a lot familiar for people in this time. Look at this, the flowers. This is walking on a bridge now. And we're seeing the boats there, and you have it also on the other side. The other side, you also have a couple of bars. Sorry for the interrupting, but sometimes also need to show a little bit nice sights from my city, right? You can have drinks over there. There used to be a bar with over 40 beers that they had, that they were serving. Anyway, that's not that important. Let me just click on it. Yes. So I have my auto tracking again. So I asked him, what is the goal of these so-called activist organizations? And he said, yeah, they want to have a state. I said, well, where exactly? And then he started to play stupid. Maybe he really doesn't know, I don't know. But I find it hard to believe, if you are investigating this kind of things, then you would be investigating the background and you would be understanding, and it's all over the news, right? But yeah, can happen. The man was older than me, so maybe something wrong with his memory. Or maybe he didn't do his homework. Anyway, that's what I make of it. Not trying to offend him whatsoever. But I asked him, so the goal, I asked him, could it possibly be somewhere in China? He said yes. I said, could the name be Xinjiang? He said, that could be, because that's where a lot of Uyghurs are coming from, right? So, okay, now we have established that, right? Yes. I said, so what is the goal of the ETIM? He said, yes, creating a state for Uyghurs in Xinjiang. I said, so what's the difference? He said, one wants to do it through peaceful and the other one not, right? Well, it happens to be that they have the same flag, they're waving the same flag, and they also having the exact same goal, right? According to him, one wants to do it peaceful. You tell me, anybody who's watching this video, let me know in the comment section, how do you get a land from another nation to peacefully? How? Can anybody explain that to me? I mean, I mean, it's just weird to me, right? Can I go to my government and say, "Oh, give me South Netherlands," and they will say, "Oh, yes, sure, because you want it. That's obviously we're going to give it to you, right?" Well, it's never going to happen. So that's the most weirdest thing to say, right? It doesn't add up. Uh, I would more argue one is a military faction and the other one is the more political faction, as we can see. That this person is in our political parties, and that is, yeah, to me, very concerning because have to understand that we as a Chinese community understand that they are waving flags of organizations that want to do harm to the Chinese people. And if they weren't going after Chinese people here in the Netherlands, like they are now going after me personally, and also after the whole Chinatown celebration, then if somebody would waving that flag, most Chinese people would think, or whatever, right? They're just peaceful protesting. But you have to understand if they are harassing us, which they do. I have a lot of videos about it, that they are harassing us and actually terrorizing us at the embassy, at the Chinese New Year in City Hall. They also came waving their flag and disturbing whole performance, right? Then we will start to feel very, very unsafe. And then Mr. Fong is making a video about it. And then the police invites me to come over. And that is why I'm calling this political persecution. And it makes me feel extremely, extremely unsafe as a Dutch person in the Netherlands with a Dutch mother. Can you believe it that the police would work with these kind of things and come up with tactics saying that, oh no, this is a different flag, and then they're using a flag of another terrorist organization and all these kind of things, just trying to trap, right? It's just ridiculous. When I was home, I just was looking at those flags again to check again. Maybe it has changed, it has not changed, still the same. So they were trying to trap me and basically bullshit me, right? Yeah, so I was kind of busy with that, and then after that I had to go to some other places. By the way, we have entered Chinatown. Not sure if you guys ever seen it. Let me just show it to you guys. I think you guys have at a certain point. Yeah, hope you can see it clearly. Anyway, I would like to have your thoughts. These are the bars that I used to come and drink a lot. Yeah. Not anymore though, because I am broke and I stopped drinking this much. Yeah, so I just wanted to talk about that while I was rambling. Well, while I was walking through The Hague, like the normal rant that we are doing, the walking rant. I should call it a walking rant, right? Because it's not always in the morning anymore. Let me know what you all think of this in the comment section. Do you think it is political persecution? Do you think it's their right to do so? Or do you think it's just absurdity that people from government are now starting to persecute TikTokers and YouTubers of what they say? I also told the officer, I said, what do you expect me to think now? If this is normal discourse in politics is all about debate, right? So why did they not debate me? Why did they not say, maybe even invite me to GroenLinks, right? I would go at that time. And we could set up cameras, right? And make a very nice, informative podcast, because all my videos are informative, right? And they could clear their name, right? Or clear their name. There's nothing really to clear it up because I didn't specifically say that they did anything or whatever. But It might have been, right? What would you think? I mean, if somebody is walking around here with a Al Qaeda flag, which by the way is illegal, I would think that, yeah, kind of is concerning, right? He might have some affiliations with that Al Qaeda group, and he might not necessarily be one, but definitely is sympathizing with a group like that, right? Otherwise, why would you wave the flag? I mean, we are having a lot of soccer supporters, and Ajax, one of the main soccer teams, and Feyenoord, the other one. It's from Rotterdam and Amsterdam. They're born enemies. They wave different flags, right? I would not expect a Feyenoord supporter to wave the Ajax flag, and I wouldn't expect an Ajax supporter to wave the Feyenoord flag from Rotterdam, right? That's just unheard of. Why would you do that? You only wave a flag, in my humble opinion, if you are affiliating yourself with it, or if you agree with whatever, or you are proud of it, right? These kind of things. And it happens to be a flag of a terrorist organization. And they can make an argument, but yeah, but we use it for our peaceful organizations, and yeah, okay, that's on you. But think, people are going to think that, or are going to link you to these terrorist groups because you're displaying something of that group. Why would you do that, right? It's not smart, but if you want to do it, do not feel surprised if people are going to think that you have somewhat of a link, whether it is a direct link or indirect, through admiration maybe, or agreement upon what they are doing. It's totally normal to think that. Yeah. Anyway, that was actually what was my rant about for today, and that's also why you did not see much of me for the last couple of days. A lot of people were concerned because a lot of people knew because they followed it on TikTok. The video that I made about it earlier, that was before. So when I got the letter from the police, that didn't get much traction on YouTube, but or whatever, it was also on a TikTok format. Anyway, that's basically it. I would like you all to tell me what you all think of it. If you have nothing to say, just put a dot in the comment section. No, don't do that. I hear a lot of people asking for that to boost the videos. I really would appreciate you all to just be really active in the comment section, but we do not have to spam with dots and everything. Just give some love, and so I can grow a little bit. I hope you understand now why I was not posting much, because after that, it was Thursday that I was at the police station, and then right after I directly had to go, and I had to go to another place, and I had a couple of drinks. So, and Friday, yesterday, I had a lot of other things to do. The whole day I was occupied with other people. So, yeah, that's basically it. By the way, this is the passage, we call it, in The Hague. And it used to be full of the more expensive shops, luxury. And it's almost before the luxury street, so to call. Let us show you this building. Yeah. And then here, wait one moment, and I put it up. Look at, this is the roof, right? Amazing, isn't it? It's a beautiful building. A booth here, actually, people are living, I believe. Yeah. I hope you enjoy this a little bit, this little view of The Hague. We are walking in the center right now, and we're going to another place where I'm going to have some fun. What is it that I'm going to do that's so much fun? Play some chess. I like to play chess. I'm not sure if you guys all like to play chess, but let me know. There's a lot of tourists here making videos, cameras. You can see in the background, I hope, right? Yeah, I think I said enough. I think I'm kind of done right now. Just let me know what you all think. I feel like I missed something. I feel like in the middle of something that I was talking about, I just lost my whole thing. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The video is long enough. You guys all have seen enough, but we're going to do a little bit of sightseeing right now. And so you can also see real The Hague, right? Maybe I come up with it. So we are here in the center. Look at this. Oh, in the back you see on top that's a church over there. That's a church, and that shop in front, the Sting, a really big chain. That owner used to come to the restaurant where I used to work at the time a lot to have dinner, obviously. Oh, this is H&M now. This used to be Maison Bonneterie. Now it's H&M. Maison Bonneterie used to be one of the more expensive clothing shops in the Netherlands. And now it has become one of the most cheapest. How life can change, right? Anyway, now you see here. This is typical Dutch. In the past, you always had it on many streets. I'm not sure how to call it in English, but yeah, just playing music in the museum, right? And then they're there asking for money, and that's what they do. That is how it goes in the Netherlands. Now you see how it all goes. And I have 5% left. Let me see, I will extend it with another battery if I. And then I run into a small technical difficulty. Unfortunately for you guys, I had a whole piece behind this video showing the rest and showing the palace. I must have clicked on stop recording. I think it stopped itself now that I see where it stopped, because I went to change the battery and it's just click out, click in, but I have to take it out of my bag and etc. etc. Now I also understand when I was still recording, it all of a sudden shut off because it's automatically shut off after I don't know how many minutes. Sorry, I cannot redo it, right? Next time I will show you all where I went and show the beautiful building and the palace, etc. I'm really sorry for this. Nonetheless, I hope you enjoyed the video. I also hope that you will like, share and subscribe. And also let me know in the comment section what you all think of this. Do you think that this is political persecution? Yes or no? Have a great day. Your favorite half Chinese.